and so on. So you apply the same.
So what will happen if I click the match surface?
Okay. I go back to click OK.
So it will pick its own correlation?
No.
No. It will just stick to what we.
Yeah, I
What
stick to
change?
one. Remember, I have two variables. So I'm adjusting the total to the surface. So I need to have some number here, right? And then the composition of the surface, the second number. So those two numbers will be applied for all calculations on. So either higher or lower, so whatever they are. So you adjust it for all calculation.
Okay.
That's why you have something like this.
So but the sum density is not matching.
Why?
Spinner spinner area.
No, density is nothing to do with the spinner.
Changes in the face?
Still
Changes in the face, is it?
Yes, we know it's changing in the face, but why it's not matching?
no flow.
Oh, you need to answer that. Yeah, you can. You know that. You know.
No, please.
No production.
Yeah, it's not production. Of
But
course,
till-
not production. Why?
Why? Kalau pagi boleh jawab.
So big stuff, man.
If morning maybe can answer. Already afternoon evening cannot think.
Why? If you 1 minute.
You cut zone. Kan.
Look at the plot.
Because the gas is going faster than the liquid?
There is no
No.
at the bottom.
Hmm. So one value is one. Then
Almost there. I know. Almost there. Yeah, look at the plot.
okay.
So the bottom plot
Okay.
is something like this. So you can see at the bottom plot. Our reading here is the dash, yeah? Which is
One.
1.
One.
My dotted is this one. Why? Why my dotted cannot go up?
One.
Because I did maths, right? I did improve, I did whatever, I did maths. Why it's not maths?
Because the Q0
Yes, Q0, yes.
Mm.
Okay, it's already 1 minute. This one.
Okay. Oh, we don't take water.
Yes.
Aduh, tu je.
So the maximum density is what? Oil.
Okay.
0.66.
Mm.
Cannot reach 1.
Okay.
Two phase.
Mm.
Liquid gas. Liquid is oil. Gas is gas, right? So cannot go to water.
Mm. The limit is oil.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has cut off at below around 0.6.
Yeah,
The
you
bottom.
know on this one here,
Yeah.
parameter maximum,
Maximum. Okay.
but the reading at the bottom is 1. So cannot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to define water if you want to match.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or basically if you put 0, no flow, it will go directly to water. This is just default thing in Emerald.
Okay.
You might be trying to match, but not really match.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's the maximum of the water. But if you want really to match that one, I can go to your PPT.
Go to PPT.
Okay, before going on that, I'll show you this the constraint. That constraint,
Okay.
the one that we have missed. I mean, we have skipped,
Okay.
right? So in this case, if we are using PVT density as gas and oil, and we comparing your gradio to your PVT,
Okay.
then you will be having small gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What happened if we put constant? What happened? We have the shut-in oil density and shut-in gas density.
Mm-hmm.
So the composition will be different.
Okay.
Yeah. So the second one, I can make the second interpretation. Let's just make a new interpretation. Just keep everything, or element, for example, just interpretation or to Tesla. Just click OK. So I just copy all of them. Why is that? So I have this one. This is the second interpretation. I just copy all the things together. So new interpretation, copy all element, interpretation output. So copy everything into the second interpretation. Yeah. And then what we do, we need to replace the PVT. Yeah. On the PVT, we go to oil density and we like to put the constraint. Yeah. 250 to 865.68. So that one, 250 to 865.8.68. For example, this one from schedule. So we put as a constant, click OK. Not so bad, but it's different. So if I use this one as my correlation, I need to click the second square. So the green will follow, we pass through the point. If I modify my PPT, then if I click OK, and if I do again, click out, if I improve all, see the middle, you have error, right? So if I improve all, I get 0. If I click OK, I have more gas. If you compare with the first one, I have less gas, and in the potential too, I have more gas.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not that big difference, but it's different. So it's really depending on your PVT settings.
Mm.
Yeah, be careful on that. So that's the PPT stuff. So you might modify your PPT according to your current rating in 100% oil. So you know whether in flowing you might have some free gas or something below bubble point, for example. Might look at that one. Yeah, it's below bubble point. So you might see some free gas. But how much the free gas? Depend on the density correlation. So something like that. You might see a sensitivity on this one. And on this thing, you might just change this according to the spinner, for example. So I can just make it smaller like that. And this one, I just put maybe smaller like that. Or maybe I can have to do something like this one. I like to put maybe the middle one. So just put again, click, let's improve all. That's it. Something like this. So I have two zones. So again, it depends on how accurate or details you like. But if you put that one as a one SIP zone, maybe you don't really need to define this picture. But if the client want to ask, want to know more on that one, then you might do this. Yeah. So if interpretation one, I like to move away from match, I click on rates, and then I can surface match. I just put that one. I put one, and then I just put one here again. So I can click OK. I think it should go off. The two way, yeah. It will be reset. So I just do it, improve all, recalculate, and we'll move away from the surface match. So yeah, the flow map you might see this is the slugs, this is slug flow regime, etc. So yeah, it's depending on the correlation, and this different correlation will give you different flows. And yeah, you can adjust whatever you can. I can adjust calculations on calculations on and I and I have this one. You can make different interpretation, you make the different PPT, etc. So you can then later on compare sensitivity. Or you can have just one interpretation and you do some sensitivity. You can do something like this one. I think we wait for Jaya coming. So you just the blue line. But if you want to separate, you do the calculations on between blue. Score the question. Okay. So yeah, we continue.
We go for example 4 or example 3 is still we doing, right?
Yeah, still doing on the tray. We do four tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah, because that one is an Excel manual calculation. As Emma said, it's better in the morning. Yes. All right. So we did two interpretation. Why? Because we like to see the sensitivity. So first interpretation, we don't put any constraint on PVT density. And the second, we put the PVT constraint on the density. So we can compare what's the difference. How we compare? Okay, we have this one, the second one, and you can make user view. Yeah, you can make a new survey just to compare, or just make a user view here. Just make user view. It's coming up here. This is blank, drag, and then you can see on that one. I can copy from the result on the interpretation two. For example, the calculate, or sorry, the schematic. So the Q set Q gas, and then Q gas from interpretation one. So you can see the difference. Yeah, this is maybe not correct, but just to compare. And also you can make another user view to compare the Q oil total, for example. And then you compare the Q oil total from interpretation one. So something like this. So you might be seeing the sensitivity. Yeah. So comparing like this. So just make a user view and compare. Then you can change the title to whatever it is, maybe comparison, QG compare. Something like that, then you might see the sensitivity between those two interpretations. Right? This is the one way to do that. So you can have many interpretations as you want. And, yeah. So you have just make a user field. Another thing to, if you don't want to leave, if you just want to have in interpretation one, you might do something like this. So go back to interpretation one. Then I have done this interpretation. I click on the browser, interpretation one. So I need to copy QGZT to data store. So I copy QGZT to data store. And I copy QOZT to data store. So when you copy the number, but then it's disconnect. So whenever you update, it will not update the one in data store. Right, so this is maybe you can rename it. If useful, you can rename whatever you want like that. And then when you redo, you can see the difference. And I have a new user view, click user view. I copy this previous one. And I also copy the current one. They overlay because they are the same. Yeah. But when I redo, for example, I use BVD and I put that one in 75x65.7, for example. So add this one, yeah. Then I redo. You see the difference. So the sensitivity you can see directly. So if I change that one, so the difference is something like this. And but it will not be remain because if it is if you change back, it will be gone. But if you have a different interpretation, you can compare later on. It stay there. So there are two ways to do compare. To do sensitivity and the current version. The next version will be a lot easier.
That's top.
So you put in the data store and you copy to user view. That's you copy only the number. So whenever you update again, you might see the difference between the previous one and with the current. So that's all to do sensitivity. Okay. The next thing is I like to match the bottom one, for example. Yeah, interpretation one. So I like to put the PPT wood. So I pick my wood. So the default is 10,000. So maybe I just put 100,000. Okay, because it would require, I just need to click and click. And okay. So then what happens if I click rates at the bottom, click updates schematic. So I'm good.
It's schematic.
Yeah, you can just go to rates, update schematic, this one, the last one, or you can just click OK, it's the same. So you can see if you put the correct PPT at the bottom, but you don't really care because it's not produced at Silver, but at least if somebody asks, then you can be matching. Yeah. So you might adjust the subunit in order to match. Because the default it was taking 10,000 BPM, it was not matching. So just increase the BPM in order to match. Yeah, the liquid cost correlation is only for two phase. Even though we define three phase, we have the FO. This is the fraction of oil. So yeah, I think I'll let you. We haven't talked about we did the correlation, but we haven't talked about the model. Yeah, let's talk about the model. We have several modules there.
To hydrocarbon.
It's okay. Okay, so this the model now. The model. So first we have a single phase. It doesn't matter. If single phase, just PVD, either gas or oil. That's it. So we have a liquid gas. Okay, for example, we do have water, oil, and gas. Yeah.